My wife of 13 years confessed about an affair about 3 months ago. She told me the day after our anniversary that they had sex often. I don't know what to do. The title pretty much explains it all. I am a stay-at-home dad of 3, including one with special needs. For the past couple years, it's been a slog. Therapist after therapist after therapist for my kiddo with cerebral palsy, 2 other kids in school. It's something we discussed many times. She works and is able to provide for us financially, and I would stay at home with them. 2 years ago, she joined a gym and began a relationship with John. John and my wife would frequently message on Facebook about random things, but things that my wife tried to hide and delete. She has lied about speaking to him, what they've spoken about, amongst other things. We are done having kids, so she used this time to get a breast augmentation and tummy tuck, like procedure. It felt like she was literally going to cheat on me, but she assured me that this was just her way of getting out of her motherhood body. She spends an unworldly amount of time at the gym. Before work, off days. Literally doesn't stop. She can easily spend 3 to 4 hours at the gym. Meanwhile, I am at home with the kids, preparing lunch, breakfast, getting them to school, taking my child with cerebral palsy to his therapy appointments. Things start to get worse. I find that I am getting more frustrated with feeling like a single parent while she is just living her dream life at the gym and building a career. She feels that I'm treating her unfairly and takes her rings off last summer. She didn't tell me about it, but she is stating that we are separated, but no ground rules are laid out. She continues to live her life with her rings off without any sort of discussion. We were definitely in a slump. My skepticism of her and John's relationship continues, but we hit hills and valleys in our relationship. It feels that sometimes it improves, and some days it feels that it wasn't going to work. We had laid out some rules about this guy, and I asked her to delete him from her phone and block him. They can communicate at the gym since she's there so much, but nowhere else. Flash forward to June. I found a text message thread while I tried fixing her phone with a random number. It was messages upon messages of hers and John's relationship. Mind you, this guy is married as well. My suspicions for over 2 years were true. I knew she was cheating on me. I effing flipped. I was so upset. She said they didn't have any physical contact except for holding hands and hugging. She was extremely adamant that that was it. Things didn't feel like they would get better, but eventually, they kind of did over a couple months. That or maybe I was missing who my wife was. I don't know, but it felt that an emotional affair was easier to forgive. I told her I forgave her and that we recommitted to making this work. It felt that we were more normal than ever, and she was being open and honest about my questions that I had. The day after our anniversary, she drops a bombshell. She actually was physical in her affair. They had sex an unknown amount of times in his car while she was at work. She says they wore a condom. I am so effing mortified. I already grieved for her once, but now I put through another round of mental torment and physical PTSD. She lied again. She said she didn't have sex with him initially, but now she wanted to lay it out. She says the last time they had sex was in April. I don't know what to believe. She says she felt insanely lonely. I asked her why not just get a divorce, and she said that she never had that intention and that she cares so deeply for our family and kids. It feels so contradictory. She had sex with this guy while also having sex with me occasionally. And she didn't feel the need to tell me that I'm literally banging her after this guy was. Jesus Christ, typing this makes me want to die. I am using an alt account, but I have details that would make this story more clearer, but I do not want to tie it into some personal information as I think I would be pretty easily identified by my profession and personal posts. She states she is utterly remorseful and wants to work things out. I literally just got myself tested for STDs today. I would have never thought I would have to do this, but here I am. I am at a loss. I am a mid-30s dad of 3, and it feels that my life is effing over. My kids keep me grounded. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Cares so deeply for our family and kids. 3 to 4 hours at the gym every day? When is she even home to care so deeply about the kids? OOP. This is exactly my point. She literally goes to the gym in the early morning, but sometimes doesn't get home until kids are on the bus. I would hate to miss waving them off. I wave them off every morning. OOP responds to a longer comment regarding getting an appointment with a lawyer and marriage counselor. Does OOP want to reconcile, and if his wife was picking John over him many times? OOP. I am reading through this. I will add, when I found said text messages, the first thing she said was she cares about him, which really pissed me off. She should care about me as her husband. She finally has told him no more contact, and she blocked him on every platform and said that she is willing to have an open device policy. I do think this is extremely remorseful, at least right now. He has made some suggestive comments as a way to make her feel bad. She did put her rings back on, and the guy wants to reconcile with me as well. AKA he reached out to me on Instagram, and I immediately blocked his dumbass. Commenter 2. I've said before on this sub that if my spouse was the one to come clean about an affair, I'd be likely to try to work it out, but this is just a disaster. If you decide to stay, and that's a big if. Couples counseling, quitting the gym, spending her newly available free time with the kids she allegedly cares deeply for. But this all hinges on one question. Do you even want to work things out? Seriously, ignore everything I just suggested. Ignore any stay, leave, crucify her in the divorce, or other comments. Take some time and really ask yourself, do you want to try to work this out? Commenter 3. Thank you for putting the question into words that I've been trying to do myself in another thread. The real question is, what is she doing to want to make him stay? OOP. That's what I'm thinking. From the beginning, I'm convinced she had a plan or deep intention, but she says things just kind of fell that way. Yeah, right. She says they were just friends first, but if that's the case, why did she delete all of her messages from him when I first saw them? That first happened like 1.5 years ago. This has been shitty since the start. Commenter 4. Your mistake was thinking any sort of affair would be less harmful. An affair is an affair, regardless of getting physical or not. Have you wondered why she has this surge of honesty so suddenly? I imagine her affair has gone sour. She's afraid of being dumped by you and is trying to keep you around. I won't be the one who tells you how you should take on your life. OP. You are the only one who knows how hard this hurt you and how bad you are now. However, I'd recommend you to take your feelings into consideration this time. May you find the inner strength to take the best decision for your happiness and for your emotional health. OOP. You're not wrong. Things did get sour after I found these texts. She immediately ceased that relationship and blocked him. I think that's why she wants to start fresh and continue our relationship. She is giving me contradictory information that it only happened because she was separated and she was extremely lonely, but then said she doesn't want to leave her family and that we mean so much to her. I asked her plainly, did you think about us when you were banging in his car? Update. Nearly 3 months later. Mild update. My wife of 13 years confessed about an affair about 3 months ago. She told me the day after our anniversary that they had sex often. I debated on whether or not I really wanted to write an update or not. Life has been really a whirlwind of emotion since that point. For all those people who gave me encouragement and advice, I really appreciate you more than you know. We sought counseling pretty much ASAP since all this shook out, which has been a somewhat positive experience, I think, for both of us. Overall, this update is really fucking boring, but maybe I need an outlet right now because I'm feeling it hard today. Generally speaking, things just are right now. Some days feel more hopeful than others, but we are decently committed to making this work for now, especially given our situation with our kids, specifically our son. Our therapy sessions tend to work on our communication and forward progress. It's hard not to gripe or look for some sort of validation of my frustrations with my wife about how things shook out or what I experienced. Although, she is entitled to her feelings about how I approached their relationship in the beginning, which she swears was merely friendly in the beginning. Although the more I think about it, the more it feels like I'm being gaslighted by my wife and maybe a little bit by our therapist. I generally do not have a problem with my wife having male friends, and even when we were having a hard time, I felt that I made my boundary extremely clear. Initially, when they were just friends, she would message him like regularly, going into topics that felt boundary crossing. In this, she says they were just friends. But now, I don't think I'm comfortable with her having friends like that again. And I told her that. I am a little upset because reflecting on things now makes me feel like both my wife and our therapist made it seem I'm letting my anxiety get the best of me. We have moved toward an open device policy. Really on our end, we have set new boundaries about relationships and maintaining these relationships. Although now that I read and type this out, I really feel like I'm giving more than what she ever had to, even though she's the one who decided to pursue a runaway relationship with another man. She states she didn't feel safe in our marriage and pursued this relationship. I'm so conflicted on how to feel about everything as I type this. I am learning to rebuild my trust in her. I need to feel safe again. I want to feel like this was her character flaw rather than a reaction to how she felt I treated her. She says she felt unsafe, frustrated, unloved. I am not saying those things aren't untrue because she is entitled to her own feelings, but it feels like an excuse. Things were rocky for a while, but she feels that we were not doing well before I had issues with her communication with this guy. That feels incorrect, because since that moment I know I've been short with her, and with good reason. She literally lied about the amount of communication they had together. It feels like I'm being gaslit because she made it seem like friends have that regular amount of communication. Some days we end in fights, mainly about my tone or my reaction. It feels like a broken record. She constantly criticizes how I communicate with her or our kids. It feels like it never ends, and this is something she continually goes back to as a reason for her abandonment. But some days, it feels like it ends more peacefully and calmly. I guess going back to why I decided to write today was really about feeling fucking worthless. I feel absolutely unfit and unworthy. I let my wife trample on me, and she makes me feel that it really was my fault for her actions. It feels that the therapist also wants me to understand these flaws and how they shaped the events that happen. I don't know, but maybe the therapist is right. I am noticeably anxious about anything my wife does, and I feel that it won't change. I will always worry about who she's talking to. She says she's committed to our relationship, but it feels like such a shitty excuse. I told her that's what you said on our wedding day, and look at this fucking mess. I wish my update contained more substance. I wish part of me could say I left her cheating ass, got alimony/child support, got abs, and met someone new. I can't do that right now. I try to stay busy at work and at home. Edit. Just for clarity's sake, my wife did make it abundantly clear that she wants nothing to do with him, in more ways than one. He's been finding ways to continue to see her attention. He even wrote an email to her, and she showed it to me immediately. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. I'm sorry, dude. I guess you decided to stay. I know I wouldn't. It's easier said than done, yes, but she lied, and lied. I'm sure there's more lies in there too. OOP. My decision to stay isn't set in stone. It's built on the idea that we are extremely fragile and she has to put in the work. If not, or if she crosses our transparent boundary, I'm not giving her a third chance. Commenter 2. I'm curious, have you informed his wife? Has she cut contact with him? Does she still go to the gym? What is she doing to make this work on her end? Please elaborate. I'm genuinely curious. I would like to know how you're going to be able to move forward in this. I'm sorry you are going through this. Update me. OOP. As far as I know, he and his wife are separated and made that an agreement. So to him and his wife, he was within his own rights. That's all hearsay though, and I'd rather not think about it anymore. Does my wife go to the gym? Buddy, let me tell you. She's still addicted to it. Goes every day in the AM since me and our kids are still sleeping. I still work out for 3 to 4 hours at a time usually. Although she is quite social when she goes, which is why it takes her so long. She finds that her identity really relies on her ability to maintain this gym time, I've noticed. I think if you took it away from her, I don't know what she would do. Commenter 2. Fine, I can understand that. Gym. But is it the same gym? Like, is this just business as usual? They still attend the gym together? Please, I hope not. You can't be that naive. There has to be some consequences, at least in my experience. If nothing changes, nothing changes. What has she done exactly in this reconciliation to prove to you that you're not her second choice? OOP. It is not the same gym. Although it's funny when she bitches about not being able to go there, mainly because of her old friend group and proximity to our house. It makes me want to stare at her and laugh as if she didn't cause that entire problem. Commenter 3. Fire your therapist. Whoever they are, they suck. You need to find one specializing in infidelity who will hold her feet to the fire. Unless your therapist holds the line that no matter what was going in the marriage, cheating is inexcusable, and that the first priority is to deal with your pain and the nuclear bomb that your wife chose to blow up in the middle of your marriage. They're crap and completely unqualified to do their job. Good luck. OOP. She has tried EMDR therapy for my trauma. I believe they are qualified at least somewhat, but I wish she would be more assertive about protecting me given what transpired. Although to that effect, I know she needs to remain neutral, so I'm not sure what good therapy looks like. Commenter 4. Find a new couples therapist because yours sounds very biased. And I really suggest individual therapy because you need a space away from her to work through this. OOP. I agree, I think individual therapy would really help me. Commenter 5. Never ever be a stay-at-home dad. Women lose all respect for their spouses when they become stay-at-home dads. Get a job pronto. OOP. I have said this ad nauseum. I have a PRN job. My special needs son has plethora of therapists he sees. He needs some type of stable transportation. Editor's note. PRN equals pro re not a meaning as needed. An individual is called upon to work when needed, typically for a few hours of flexible shift work. Self-esteem repair following affair. Same day, different subreddit. Self-esteem repair following affair. My wife of 13 years cheated on me. We have been seeking counseling and trying to work through it. Although today, I am realizing that I have literally no self-esteem anymore. She works out constantly while I am a stay-at-home parent, and it shows. Without going into my past, or if you need context, you can go into my post history. How do you begin to love yourself again, especially since I have decided to stay?